So, I hope you can hear me. So, welcome to today's Infotalk about our online program, Energy Informatics. So, just have to drive. Everything is working. Yeah, that's fine. So, today's presentation team. My name is Christoph Schaffer. I'm the head of the Department of Mobility and Energy. And with me, there's Shivam Kashyap. So, Shivam, hi. So maybe
Hi.
you can introduce yourself, say a few words about your history.
So I was pretty lucky to be an alumnus of this program, and I started my master's here. Before that, I did my bachelor's in India, and yeah, that's the short intro. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivam. Okay, so let's have a short look at today's agenda. So we will start with a short introduction video so that you get a feeling about our university. So because it's not only this energy informatics programs, we really offer many programs. And I think it's good that you know who we are. And after that, we will start with the presentation of the Energy Informatics degree program. So I will also talk about the admission process, about the structure of the program and things like this. And after that, we will start the Q&A session. Here you are able to formulate questions, and we will try to answer them. Yeah. So, and yeah, I think we can start with the video already.
University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria.
Teaching and learning with pleasure, researching inquisitively.
Founded in 1994, the University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria is one of the leading universities of its kind. With more than 6,000 students in 70 internationally recognized degree programs, 450 academics in research and teaching, and students from 60 different countries, it's an important player in university education in Austria. Cooperations with 250 partner universities worldwide and more than 1,000 industry partners provide a vast amount of opportunities in international education and research.
All four schools, the School of Medical Engineering and Applied Social Sciences in Linz,
the School of Informatics, Communications and Media in Hagenberg,
the School of Engineering in Wels,
and the School of Management in Steyr
feature a very modern infrastructure with state-of-the-art laboratories, lecture halls and equipment to provide a stimulating environment for students. In addition to receiving high-quality education, our graduates benefit from top job prospects and a seamless transition into meaningful careers.
But it's not all work and no play. Our sports club offers students, graduates, and employees a wide range of sports activities to choose from. And our students know how to party. Entertaining events such as the crazy boat race Boatmania or the Solar Car Challenge are just a few examples of the playful culture to be found at our four campuses.
What makes Upper Austria special? The province of Upper Austria is located in the heart of Austria and in the centre of Europe. It's a strong economic region which provides a number of advantages. More than 25% of Austria's exports come from this region, and many internationally recognised companies such as voestalpine, BMW, KTM, Rosenbauer and Rotax have operations here, with our graduates serving as valuable employees. This creates excellent job opportunities, resulting in a 99% employment rate for our graduates in their desired professions. And it's a safe place to live, providing one of the highest standards of living in Europe.
Upper Austria is truly beautiful, with a wide range of leisure activities and absolutely filled with culture. Springboard University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria. The quality of our education is mirrored by the success of our graduates. Some have become the CEOs of branch offices of globally operating companies such as Google, and others have founded their own startups that have developed into well-known players in their respective industries. Our motto, Make It Real, sums it up best.
Make the University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria, part of your reality. Join us in developing knowledge, skills and dreams for a better tomorrow.
Yeah, so I hope this gives you some impressions of what we are doing and about the different campuses. So just to recap a few things. So here in Austria, we are really the best University of Applied Sciences. So we have more than 250 partner universities all around the world. And I think what is really very unique for our organization, this close cooperation with industry. It's not only about the academic thing, it's also to practice what you have learned. And I think you can do the best in cooperation with the industry. So we offer many different bachelor and master degree programs. And as you have seen or heard already, so we have about 740 employees. And we're also doing a lot of R&D projects. Yeah, so we really are very strong here, and which might also be, as we will discuss later on, one option for you to participate in our R&D programs, as for instance Shivam is doing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's have a quick view on the curricula. So it's an accredited international master degree program. So we started already with October 2015. So it's already 5 years ago that we started with this idea. And due to the learnings we had in the last month, we decided that it might be a good option to change the curricula to a 100% online curricula. And what this means, I will tell you later on. So it's a small program. So per year we have about 20 annual intakes. So this gives you the chance to really have a strong and contact with the professors, but also with the other students. The duration of the program itself is 4 semesters, and you will get 120 ECTS. So ECTS is the European Credit Transfer Systems, I think, which is quite key if you intend, for instance, to go to another university. Just for your information, so winter term, usually we do have 2 terms. Winter term starts with the 1st of October and ends with beginning of February. And the summer term starts usually with beginning of March and ends with beginning of July. So saying that in principle, each of the semesters is about 4 months long. And then you also have about 4 months holidays. So what's the presence time? So we will talk about presence time a little bit later on what this really means. But here we talk about the lectures, yeah. And so in an average, you have about 18 what we call semester hours, and 1 semester hour corresponds to 45 minutes. So it's approximately, let's say 20 hours. No, not 20 hours, so 18 multiplied by 45, so it's less. Saying that it's not that much time you have to spend in the lecture itself. But of course, you have to do some additional project, practical work, and things like this. Okay. So what might be quite interesting for you is the financials. So the tuition fees. So it really depends where you're coming from. But if you are from the European Commission or from EEA cities, it's about 363.36 euros per semester. And if you're not from the European Union, you have to pay about 726 euros per semester. So saying that it really just costs 1,500 euros per year. And if you compare that tuition fees with all the fees you will find globally, you will realize that's really very, very cheap, yeah, because it's supported from the government. Another big advantage of this online program is that no presence in Austria is needed. Yeah? So you don't need a visa, you don't have any traveling costs. So it's really, when you look at the financial things, I think it's really very cheap, the program itself, not the content, which has to be stressed. Yeah. So in the last weeks, when we announced that we will start with this program, we received several questions already. And one of the questions is formulated here because this might also be quite interesting for you. So is it possible to come to Austria? And yeah, we have to say yes, but there are some dependencies. And so if you show excellent academic results of the first year of study, we will offer job and or research opportunities. So in that case, you have to apply for the specific job at the company, at the universities, and the companies and the universities decide if you will get accepted. But if you are accepted, then I think it's a real good chance to come to Austria, that you have the income from the work in parallel to your study here. So this might be a very interesting option for you. So yeah, so therefore it's also possible to come to Austria. And of course, I think visiting Austria is always a nice experience. Okay, let's talk about the organizational things. The lectures itself will be taught by using Microsoft Teams. So this is well established here at the university, so it really works quite well. And all the courses are taught either by academic members of the university, but we also have a great link to the industry. And so we also have experts from the industry or other R&D institutions which also do some lecturing here. So I think this is a great chance to also get the knowledge from them. So more or less, we have a fixed schedule of lectures for one semester. So this will be communicated already at the beginning of the semester. And usually the lectures are organized in a live event. So why this is essential for us, because we really like to work with students. And I think the communication between the professors and the students, but also between the students themselves, is very important. And I think this is one big advantage of our university. You're not only number, we really would like to work with you and push you to new things. For some of the lectures, there will be recordings available, saying that, yeah, you will have the chance to listen to the content of the course maybe in the evening or some days later. So this will not be a problem. And yeah, for each course, there is at least 80% of the offered teaching time must be attended. So saying that, yeah, we need you in the course itself. Yeah. So if you plan to work in parallel, I think that's possible. It should not be a problem, but you have to organize it in a way that you don't run into troubles with this minimum of 80% attendance. Okay. Coming to the next one. Yeah, so what was the basic idea of this program? So what we realized in the market, so when we talk about smart grids, about the smart cities, smart mobility, so there are really that many aspects, and also our way to green industry, green energy. It's really very demanding and very interesting. And what we realized is there's a huge lack on IT guys who really understand the energy domain, but also understand the IT domain. And therefore, the idea was, okay, if you are already firm with all the terms you see here, so it's you know how to program, so you know, for instance, Java or C++, you know object-oriented programming, you know about networking, about security, then I think you're a good candidate, because what we try to do in the Energy Informatics program, we try to explain the domain of energy. Yeah, so if you're already an expert in IT, usually you don't have any idea about the energy domain. And this is exactly what we would like to bring to your attention. And it's not only about the IT aspects, it's also about business, it's about the legal aspects. So it's really that many different things which have to be handled and covered in such a curricula. So this is the main idea. So if you have already a bachelor in computer science, or you have other experience in programming, I think you are well prepared also to master the Energy Informatics program itself. So yeah, let's have a short look at the structure of the curricula. Here you see the 4 semesters, and in each of the semesters, we have this 30 ECTS, as explained already. And the green colored blocks here, these are modules or lectures. They are more or less related to the energy domain. So if you're an IT guy and you never have heard about the energy domain, I think you have to learn the terms and also what we have here, international energy markets and energy law. So maybe I have to hope that you see the pointer now. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, fine. So international energy markets and energy law. So physics is just something to repeat the basics which are needed in the electrical and heating domain. Here we have a module which is called processes and process modeling. So usually in the energy domain, we really have very, very complicated systems, and you have that many interfaces and different processes. And here's the question, okay, what are the tool sets, what are the methods which can be used to model those processes? And on the other hand, we also have input, for instance, from the industry, and they tell you, okay, what do these processes look like, and that you get a feeling about the real world. Then we have communication technology. So especially also in the energy domain, we have many, many dedicated protocols. Is it power line communication? Is it a radio frequency communication? And the problem in that domain is also things change very quickly and very often, and then you have to decide to bring a new technology into the field. And usually we talk about huge investments, and then you should be sure about the selected technology. And so if everything changes very often, so that's not trivial. And what we try to do here is really to bring you to the cutting edge technology. So what is needed in the market there. Yeah, then we have systems engineering 1. So it's fundamentals. So it's just to talk about how to model a large scale system. And here we talk about UML and different system life cycles and things like this. Yeah, the elective courses I will tell you later on. So in the second semester, you see there's only one green block left. So this again is related to the energy domain, and the white blocks more or less represent the IT part of this program. So I think energy generation, distribution, storage, so the name describes already all. So you will learn about the different terms, about the different grid levels and things like this, and also about the working principles of storages. Is it hydropower, or is it battery storage, or whatever you intend to use there? Then we have smart grid field components. Here we talk about smart metering, about different protection units, about different gateways. So there are many, many different components out in the field. Then we have IT security. Here in the energy domain, usually we talk about critical infrastructure. So it's not only about encrypting something, it's also about the processes you apply in rolling out the system. And even if you run a system, you have to take care about the security thing. Then software systems 1, which is quite interesting. Usually we have a huge and complex software stack. Yeah. So for instance, when we talk about smart metering, you have the smart meters, then you have a head-end system, then you have meter data management system, and many, many other systems. And there you have to learn how to model all the interfaces and what is it what you have to take care about. Then we have a lecture on international project management. I think that's quite clear. And I think this is also the interesting part of this energy informatics program, because energy is not only restricted to one country. So usually you have to think in the global aspect, and very often you also have to think about the different borders and energy exchange, for instance. Yeah, in the third semester, we have the energy consumers, which is also quite interesting. So we will talk about smart buildings, intelligent street lighting systems, and many, many other things which are relevant there. Then we have one course on home and building automation. And here we not only talk about what you might install at your private home, so we really talk also about the big solutions. So if you would like to install or equip, for instance, a hotel or an airport or something like this, you really have to know what are the systems you can use there. Then we have a lecture on cloud computing and big data. So yeah, we usually have many components. For instance, when we talk about smart metering systems, you have millions of meters. You have to read them on a daily way, and this generates a huge amount of data. And then it comes, okay, what can we do with all the data? And therefore also the big data aspect is quite interesting also in this degree program. And then we have another course, which is called Software Systems 2. It's SCADA. So usually use this type of technology when it comes to this real-time control of your energy system. Yeah, and then we start already with the master thesis project. So usually you have to implement something. Yeah, and maybe also in all the other lectures, you have to implement something. This is also why we expect from your side that you're already that you can program already. So you don't see any programming lecture here. So expect that you're already good in programming. And with the master thesis project, you start with the implementation of something. And there we also have a seminar, which is called Scientific Working. And in the 4th semester, you see there's a huge block where you have to write your master thesis. Yeah. So this is the main task in the 4th semester. So in principle, you just have to study really 3 semesters. In the 4th semester, you have to write your master thesis. Yes, and then we have all the elective courses, which are also quite interesting because you can select elective courses from our own program. So what you can see here, these are some courses we also offer in the program, but you also can select from other degree programs on the campus. There you just have to look, okay, what might be interesting, or maybe other online degree programs or online courses from other universities. So this is something we have to discuss about, to negotiate about. But usually you decide to work on a specific master thesis project. So in principle, you can also start already. You see also here the elective courses might also be a project. And if you go back to the slide, you can start with the project already in the 2nd semester. So for instance, if you work in a company and you select a topic, you can start already with the implementation here, continue with the implementation in the 3rd semester, and in the 4th semester, you can write your master thesis. And the elective courses usually are selected in a way that it really fits to the project you have to realize. So this is the interesting thing here. Okay, so what are the job profiles? Yeah, I think one key aspect is software development in the energy domain, and there are that many projects coming up because you might have heard about all this blockchain thing and IoT aspect. So I think you will always find a job in this energy domain and other domains. The other one is the systems integration. So usually you have to integrate many different systems. So when we talk, for instance, about renewable energy, so maybe you have a PV system, PV panel, the inverter, you have a battery system, you have an energy management system, and maybe you have time variable tariffs. So this is quite complicated, and from time to time you also have to do this kind of optimization. So I think this is also a very interesting part. Or if you have to integrate, for instance, in a billing system or workforce management system. So there are many tasks in this area. Or you work in a utility, for instance, to run a system like a smart metering system or similar systems. Or you work as a consultant. So you might realize there are many tenders and usually they need the experts who formulate the tenders. So this might also be quite interesting. So, and the application scenarios might be as microgrids, retail power plants, energy management systems, smart metering system, new business models in the blockchain domain, electromobility, which really increases a lot in the last time. So there are many different aspects, and so usually it should not be a problem to find an interesting job in this domain. Okay, yeah, just a few words to our living lab. As I mentioned before, so we started with the normal program. So, and we have a living lab saying we have a PV system. So it's 53 kilowatt peak PV system. We also have battery systems. So we have also our own charging infrastructure. And this can also be used by you when you do your project. So we have remote access to the systems. You can get the data and do different optimization things and many other aspects. Okay, yeah, so let's talk about the application process itself. What are the requirements? So as you might have read already, so what we need is a completed master's or bachelor degree with IT focus, versus a minimum of 60 ECTS points or similar qualification. And here I would like to stress the similar qualification. So if you are not sure if you really can fulfill the 60 ECTS points, I think the easiest way is just apply and we will look at your documents. Yeah, so I think you don't have to count all the ECTS points or credit points you have already. So this is something we also can check when you apply. Then, yeah, sound knowledge of English. So we don't need any certificate. If you do have some, yeah, that's nice. But as I will explain later on, we also have this online interview with you. And so usually, I think this is a good way to decide if you're able to follow our lectures. So what's the application deadline, which is quite interesting for you. So still you have time to apply. So it's the 15th of September. But if you really are interested in the program, I would recommend to do the application immediately, because this will ease our life a little bit. So what are the different steps? Yeah, first you have to collect all the required documents, saying that it's the birth certificate, it's the secondary school certificate, your bachelor degree, the transcript of records, and the documents must be translated to German or English. So usually English should not be a problem. We don't need the German version. If you have a German version, yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, for EU and non-EU applicants, only the documents of a bachelor degree and transcript of records must be legalized. So you will find some information at the website of the Austrian government. So we will also provide the link and the information that you can read how to do this. Yeah, the step 2 is complete your online application. So, and upload all the required documents. So, and if you have any questions, it's not a problem to send us an email. So usually we will help you. So, and then you will get an invitation for our online test. Yeah. So you will get a notification by email, and this online test is a test which lasts for about 2 hours, and it consists of 2 parts. So the first part is more or less multiple choice questions containing energy informatics related topics. So principle, it's informatics related only. So you don't need to know anything about energy, but we need to know if you're really firm in the IT sector. So there will be some questions related to some general aspects of the IT domain. And then in the second part, we have some short programming exercises. They're not that complicated. It's just to get a feeling if you're able to solve very simple examples and yeah, look at the algorithms and that you understand what the algorithms are doing. So it's method completion or the algorithm implementation. And so to do that, you need to know Java or C++. It's not necessary that you know both languages, but at least one of the two languages you should be quite firm in, because otherwise I think you will not be able to solve the questions. Yeah, and after successful completion of your tests, then there will be a Skype interview with two of the professors of the department. So, and there we will not ask you too many fancy things. It's just more we would like to learn about your motivation, about your professional educational background, and about your professional skills. So this is what we need from your side. Yeah, and then if you have completed the entire admission process, you will get a notification if you're part of this degree program or not. And usually you will get this feedback in a very short time. Okay, yeah, so I come to the end of my my presentation, and so now we have opened the Q&A. So the fees, I can see here, I've mentioned already in one of the slides. So in principle, you have to, it's about 1,500 euros per year. Yeah, so it's not that expensive. So when you consider the whole program, it's about 3,000 euros. Yeah, that's quite cheap, I think. So what level of programming knowledge is required? Yeah, you should be quite experienced. Yeah, it's if you're a beginner, I think you are not able to manage the examples. You should be moderate to expert. Python, I think, is always quite nice. If you know Python, it will help in I think in many projects. So it's if you know Python, it's nice. But you also should know Java, for instance, or C++. Yeah, I think it's possible that you get a copy of the slides and also the whole lecture, not lecture. So it's the presentation is recorded, and you will have access to this recording, and you will receive an email where you get all the additional information. Is it necessary to apply to UniAssist for non-EU applicants? Yeah, I think that's necessary because they do some cross-checking of the documents. But if you run into troubles by using UniAssist, you just can upload your application to our portal, and we also will check this because we're quite late and it's just 1 month left. So yeah, it would be nice if you use UniAssist, but I'm good at C and C#. Is it also suitable? Yeah, so it's fine. So if you're good in C#, I think that's quite similar to Java. I think you should be able to solve the different examples. Yeah, about the process itself, we will provide you the information, so the link to the site of the government, so that you really know or can read exactly what is needed. Yeah, IT background is mandatory. I think it's really very tough, and I think it's also not fair if you don't have an IT background and we force you to do some kind of implementation. Because it's energy informatics, and so in principle, you also have to learn how to model systems and also how to implement the systems. So therefore, it's I think it's quite essential that you have this IT knowledge. Yeah, that's the right number. It's 4 times 363 euros. No, it's not 18 hours per course. So in average, you have 18 semester hours, also 18 multiplied by 45 minutes. So that's the average time per week which you have this kind of live events, where you have these lectures. So this is what when we talk about these 18 hours. But depending on your personal needs, we can discuss when to schedule. So is it something which can be done in the evening or whatever? So I think this is also something we have to learn. And depending where you're coming from, we have to figure out how to set up this kind of teaching. But 18 hours or semester hours, it's the average time you have to spend for the lectures per week. And as I mentioned already, we have the winter term and the summer term. So it's in principle, it's 8 months. And for the rest of the year, you have holidays. In that case, you have a background in mechanical engineering. So I think the best way is to do this kind if you apply and you do the test itself, because when we look at the test results, usually this tells us if you will be able to finalize the degree program itself. So maybe Shiva, you can answer this question.
Yeah, it's always good to have an electrical engineering background because you have the idea, but I think some level of programming is still required because, as Professor also told, you have to do the exercises and the thesis as well. So it's you require some programming at least. Yeah. Would be a moderate level at least would be great.
Yeah, if you manage to pass the programming test, I think this is the main gate you have to fulfill. But we will look at your application, so to really see what's your background and also what have you done up to now. So usually it's quite difficult to say it in a few words if it's possible, yes or no. But as Shivam already mentioned, I think it's good that you have good programming skills, because otherwise I think this will be quite frustrating for you if we ask you to implement something and you don't have any clue how to start with this kind of programming. But you also can brush up your programming languages. I think there's that many online courses available worldwide. And since you don't have to travel and things like this, and you also see it's only 18 semester hours, you also have more time to brush up your programming skills, because I think if you're good in programming, it will be quite easy for you to get a very interesting job in this applications field. So, are there any more questions? Before starting, currently we don't offer anything, but in that case, maybe you can write me an email, and so maybe we can discuss what you need, so that you get a better understanding of the requirement. Yeah, so same, you know how to code, but you're not a professional. This is something, try the test, apply, and we will invite you to do this online test, and then we know how it will work, and you also will get a feeling about the complexity. I think you can manage that. Also, Shiva managed that, so.
Yeah, I managed that, and I'm working now in the university also in the research department. So yes, you can, I think, do that.
Yeah, we also offer programs. So on sustainable energy. So this is in the campus Wales, and there you don't need this IT background, but this is not an online program. Yeah, so there you have to come to Austria and you have to stay there, and they also have, I think, many applications. Yeah, but we at the university we also offer such a program. Also in electrical engineering. So if you would like to do something in this domain. So, any more questions?
Some are coming up.
Yeah, I think when you search online for Energy Masters, I think you will find many different or different programs. But I think this combination with IT, this is exactly what the industry is looking for. Yeah, so we also find some programs on energy management, or I think many different flavors on energy. It should not be a problem to find a master with not focusing on IT. But I think the program we're offering here is quite unique, and we know from industry that the demand for well-educated engineer IT guys, which also know this energy domain, this is really very high. And I think this will also be the key in the future. So if you talk about smart grid systems, about energy management, about this blockchain technologies and things like this, it's always IT. I want to talk about e-mobility. It's not possible to realize systems without IT. If you talk about storage systems, it's IT. Yeah, so this is exactly what is needed in this domain, and this was also the reason why we started with this program. And I think, especially for our alumni, it's easy to find a job there. Yeah, especially if you're good in programming. If you're not good in programming, maybe it's not that easy. Yeah, but usually if you're good in programming, it's not a problem at all. And it's not only restricted to Austria. Yeah, I think energy is a worldwide thing, and I think each and every country is looking or searching for these energy experts. For the position itself, so we will inform you, and then you can apply. So we also tell you where you have to apply. So is it, or you will tell you what's the university offering this job opportunity. So it's maybe we offer such an opportunity, and also from the industry. So you will get a link where you can apply. You apply at the company. You have to do this admission process there. And if they say it's okay that you come and you will get paid for, and then I think it's not a problem to come to Austria. And we will continue this online program. But if you would like to visit us, you're welcome. And I think it's not a problem. But in that case, you really have to talk with the companies. Yeah, this sounds good. So if you have already your bachelor master program and huge experience in building automation, I think this is exactly energy informatics, which can push you to the next level. Yeah, not only do you have this IT related view, but also on the new things, also about the legal aspects, about the business aspects. So I think this is also the interesting thing in this energy domain, that it's not only IT. Yeah. Yeah, Christian, you should apply.
Yeah.
So I think there was another question: when will the test take place? So usually we handle that in that way, that when you apply, we will come back to you within a few days, and then you will receive this invitation, and then you can do the test itself. Yeah, so usually it's just a few days, and if the test results are fine, then we will do this interview, and a few days later, you know if you're part of the Energy Informatics team, yes or no. So we're very fast in that. Yeah, so thank you very much for your attention. I hope that I was able to answer your question. So if you have or still have some questions, so we have this international chat. So you can use this and ask whatever you're interested in. And so we have our international team behind that. So I think they will answer all the questions in a very professional way. So if you would like to communicate with our department itself, please use this email address. It's energyinformatics@fh-hagenberg.at. And you will also find additional information on our website. So this is the website of the universities, but if you go to Hagenberg, then you, or the IT part, then you will also find the master program on energy informatics. And if you have any question, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. And if it's not clear, if you really fulfill all the requirements, I think the best way would be just to talk about that. Yeah. Okay. So Shivam?
Yes, I would just like to conclude that as an alumnus of this program, I am pretty sure that this is the best opportunity, because the future is about the cyber physical world. And for that, you need the combination of the physical world, that is the energy or the electricity, and the cyber world, that is the IT. So this combination goes in, and that's the future. So I think you should definitely try this and give this a try. This could help to attain your future with the bright colors and all. Thank you.
Exactly. Thanks, Shivam. Yeah, so I have to thank for your attention. And as I mentioned already, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in contact with us. And if you're interested in the program, just apply. We will go through the documents. We will inform you if something is missing, or we also will ask you to provide more detailed documentation, whatever. So hope to see your application soon, and yeah, have a nice day ahead. So thank you very much for your attention. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.